There's hundreds of Herobrine theory videos on YouTube, and as a 12-year-old, I fell for a lot of them. I mean, it was all over the place. You couldn't avoid it if you watched Minecraft on YouTube. It got to the point to where the creator of Minecraft, Notch, even had an automatic email reply because of how many people asked about Herobrine. But there was one theory that made me scared to even think of Minecraft, and I bet you've never even heard it. Before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about how Herobrine started. The first news of a creepy entity appearing in Minecraft started in 2010. It originally started as finding white eyes in the dark, but it quickly transitioned into being the default player skin, but with white eyes instead. Now, I will say that this all makes sense because the 13 music disc was added into the game around the time that this creepy stuff started happening, so it does make sense that people were in like a creepy mood to like create theories about what was going on. But at the same time, it also helps their theory because this creepy music disc gets added to the game. Now all of a sudden this player with white eyes is found. When White Eyes became Herobrine, they said it was Notch's deceased brother who somehow became an entity in the game and walked around haunting players. Also, apparently Herobrine would build things like pyramids underwater and take leaves off of trees, but I don't really remember people talking about that back in my memories. Since all of this has happened, there's been a lot of sightings of Herobrine, and there even was a pretty popular theory about how to spawn him into your world. But let's go back to when it all started. Back in these days of Minecraft, the game was extremely eerie and at points downright scary. I think the reason why the game was creepy was that it was just so empty, and if you didn't have a great PC like me, you had a lot of fog limiting your visibility. You also couldn't run, so if something was chasing you, there was no way you could get away from it other than just walking slowly in the other direction. Taking damage was also a big deal. You didn't just have 64,000 pieces of bread or 100 pieces of steak within the first day of playing. There was only cooked pork chops as meat in the game, and they barely gave you any health. I guess it was only inevitable that a horror story would come from early Minecraft. I mean, just look at nighttime. You couldn't see anything. Things like that made Herobrine even scarier, to the point to where it still haunts people 13 years later. Anyways, this brings us to the theory that terrified me when I was younger. Herobrine absolutely horrified me. Once I learned about him, I spent hours watching any video that would give me any information or any explanation about him. At this point, I wasn't sure whether to believe Herobrine was real or not, but there was one particular theory that got me, but it didn't get me immediately. The theory claimed Notch originally had a development partner who was intended to be the artist for Minecraft once the game was more developed. But after the huge explosion in popularity for the game, Notch got greedy and wanted everything for himself and refused to let the artist work with him on the game. This argument continued for a long time until Notch decided to end it by paying the artist a visit and murdering him. Keep in mind, the artist was still involved in the creative process for making Minecraft, so they had a deep understanding about the game despite not having any of their work included. The story says that the vengeful spirit of the artist embedded itself deep into the Minecraft code, evading Notch every time he tried to patch it out, which created many other issues like the famous beta holes. Now, this theory already was pretty spooky, but a sheer coincidence made me avoid the game during the biggest moment for Minecraft. It was during the release of Minecraft 1.8 that I began hearing about someone named Jeb in Minecraft videos, particularly hearing that the game looks and plays much better now that Jeb is working on the game more. We got things like sprinting, hunger, experience, and of course new mobs. All of this sounds good, right? Having this huge of an update to the game changed so much of Minecraft's identity. The game didn't feel as much like this creepy, desolate wasteland like it was before. It just felt like something was lifted from the game that made it more cheerful. Or should I say, something was removed. During this time that everyone was overjoyed about all of these new additions to Minecraft, I, meanwhile, was avoiding it at any cost. YouTubers I watched daily, I would scroll past their 1.8 videos, and for months, I just watched people's backlogs of videos, all because of how that one theory video ended. You see, in the theory video I mentioned earlier, it didn't just end with Notch trying to patch out Herobrine. The video actually ended with a prediction, one that just happened to come true. The video was less of a theory, and at the end it turned into more of a warning. It was a warning to Notch himself to stop trying to patch out Herobrine. The video suggested that all of these attempts to patch out Herobrine will form a sequence of events that will release the trapped spirit back into the real world to possess someone. The entire time the spirit was in the game, it was slowly learning all of the code, which was also teaching it programming. And with its background as an artist, it was outsmarting Notch to help it escape the game and use its new knowledge of art and programming to take Minecraft back. They predicted that Herobrine would become too difficult for Notch himself to deal with, so Notch would hire another person to work on the game, who would then easily release Herobrine from the code and become possessed to create the vision the original artist had for Minecraft. Because of this theory, the video creator thought that Notch was in danger because once this possession happens, they would probably then kill Notch. So during this time, Minecraft 1.8 happens and the game is just totally different. It feels different and it looks different. And while everyone was being afraid of the Enderman, I was crafting crazy theories in my mind about what was really going on. Hearing that Notch was working less on Minecraft and this new guy Jeb showed up, that was what immediately made me think about that theory, and it terrified me. I wanted answers from the creator of the video, so I tried to find it again, but I couldn't find it, and even to this day, I still can't find it, but I vividly remember this happening. The coincidence was too perfect for me to not take it as truth. I really thought that Jeb was possessed by Herobrine, and eventually I would open up YouTube and see videos about Notch being murdered. But I started to spiral. I was thinking, well, if the person got possessed through the game, does that mean that they can go back into the game and then they can possess other people? What does that mean for me as someone playing the game? What does it mean for my favorite content creators making videos about the game? What they said would happen came true. The game drastically changed, a new person was added, and it seemingly felt like Herobrine was just gone from the game. It just had a totally different feel. I also wasn't afraid of the Enderman. I thought the Enderman was just to throw the scent off of Herobrine being gone. It was added purely so that people would stop making videos about Herobrine, start making videos about the Enderman, because Herobrine was gone and they didn't want anybody to know what actually happened. I guess this theory would mean that Herobrine is and isn't gone. He's not in the game anymore. He makes it.